your wellness coach, and today I'd like to share a deeply personal story with you. On Tuesday, July 17th, 2012, I was in Washington, D.C. I had flown up on Sunday evening to see my best friend who I hadn't seen in years. The flight was delayed and I didn't make it into Baltimore Airport until around 1 a.m. and we still had to drive into DC to get to our apartment. On Monday evening, we got to go see Team USA versus Brazil, both men and women game, and President Obama and Michelle Obama was at that game. It was a special game with to thank the troops and their families, and I was really excited to go. There were servicemen and women from all branches of the military. We were high up in the stands, but it was still a lot of fun. We didn't leave till really late, and traffic was just crazy because, like I said, the president, the first lady, I think the VP was there as well. I'm pretty sure that's the day they had the infamous kiss cam that came on the Obamas, and he didn't realize it was on them, and Sasha had to tell them the kiss cam was on them. Anyway, I digress. So that was Monday night. On Tuesday, it was Carnival Tuesday in St. Lucia, and my best friend came from work and she brought me to T-Mobile to get a SIM card for my phone so I could contact my family. Up until that point, I had been talking to my family via her phone with WhatsApp. So she dropped me off in front of the T-Mobile store and she went to go around because she also had to take her dog to the dog sitter to see if the two dogs got along, because we were going to go to New Hampshire to see our other friend Beth for a race. They were going to do a race, and I was going to be the cheering squad and we're going to make shirts. So that's the mood I went into the store in. So I walked into the store and I got my phone set up, and I had a BlackBerry, and as soon as my phone was set up, it just started going crazy. I just kept getting these messages: is your brother dead? Is your brother dead? Did your brother die? Did they shoot your brother? And I was like, I don't know. You're just walking distance away from my house. Go to my house. Go find out. I'm in America. I don't know. And people were actually getting mad at me. So anyway, I walk out to the store. I walk out the store. She pulls up and she says, "Your auntie says she needs to talk to you." So I look at her and I said, "Leevy is dead." She said, "What?" "No, your aunt just said she needs to talk to you. How are you jumping through that?" And I show her the messages on my phone. And then they didn't have WhatsApp voice messages. And I messaged my aunt and I said, "I know." And she's and then we went to my friend was like, "Are you okay?" I said, "No." She said, "Should we still go to the dog sitters?" I said, "Yes, but I'll stay in the car." So when we got to the dog sitters, I messaged my cousin in Miami, well, Fort Lauderdale, and I told him, I checked to see what he was doing and everything, and I told him what happened, and he said, "I'm going to," he said, "I'm going to message you." And then he messaged me the information for a phone card so I could call my mom. And I called my mom, and she was crying, but we had a conversation. I don't remember what we said. And then my other cousin was in Trinidad, and I messaged her. And then I called my grandma in Puerto Rico and I asked her if she wanted me to pick her up on my way down because he was her favorite. And then I called my grandfather, and then we went back to her apartment, and we tried to get me a flight home because the postmortem was on Friday and the family members have to be present to identify the body, and I did not want my mom to go through that alone, so I wanted to go home. So it cost more to reschedule my current ticket than to buy a new ticket. So we got a new ticket. The only thing we could get was something that had me leaving on Wednesday and overnighting in Miami. And then my best friend let me call my mom while she sorted out all the hotel issues for Miami. I called my cousin. He said he'd pick me up from the airport. And then I spoke to my mom. I spoke to my grandpa. Everyone was calling me, and I was just like, "You guys, I'm going home." Everyone was like, "When is the funeral?" I'm like, "They killed my brother today. I am going home. That's all I know is I'm going home." And then my mom told me, like, because we had anticipated that I was going to travel that summer, so we hadn't been buying stuff. And so we all made it close to where to the funeral. So the next morning, um my best friend's dog would not leave me alone. Poor Gemma, I love her so much. She like followed me into the bathroom and would sit at my feet when I sit on the toilet. Like, she knew I wasn't okay, and she just wouldn't leave me alone. She's just like silently by my side. And my best friend woke up and took a half day, but she went to work and she drew me a map because I was new to the area. So she drew me a map to the shopping center, and I walked, and then I had to find a suit to bury my brother in, a suit for my other brother to wear to the funeral, an outfit for me to wear to the funeral, an outfit for my mom to wear to the funeral. And that was one of the most difficult things I ever did, like to go from store to store to store. And when my best friend came off work, she picked me up, and then we went to a mall further away, and I finally found stuff there. And we went to a Burlington coat factory, I want to say, and I got like a bunch of stuff there. And she gave me her garment bag that she'd use as a bridesmaid for the wedding, and she helped me pack my stuff and get on the plane. So that was Wednesday. So we went back to her place, we packed everything, and then we went to the airport, and I flew to Miami, and my cousin was there and his little brother. They were there to meet me, and they picked me up. And I'd been carrying this garment bag for so long, and I just handed them all of my packs. And we went to the hotel room, and we talked and stuff and hang out. Eventually I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I may or may not have breakfast, I don't remember. And I got back on the airport to get on the other leg of the flight. And when I got on the plane, I gave the flight attendant the garment bag to hang up the suits. And as I was coming off the plane, I think I let everybody get off before me, because I was on the plane and I got to watch a interview that my mom had done because of how my brother had died. I haven't told y'all how he died. He was watching the carnival parade, and he was shot. Some people shot into the crowd, and he was shot and killed immediately. One of the bullets tore through his aorta, and the pathologist said he was probably dead before he hit the ground. So yeah, that's how he died. So I was watching my mom talk about it, and I was just on the plane like crying and stuff. It had been storming in DC before we left, and as we flew into St. Lucia, it was just dark clouds, and it was really bad weather. So as I went to take my garment bag, the flight attendant said, "Congratulations," and I just started crying. And she said, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." And she put me to sit, and she's like, and they put me to sit, and they got me water, and I was like, "My brother died." And then when I got to immigration, my cousin was there and had my sunglasses on, and she was like, as I came up, she's like, "Accept my sympathy." And then she looks at me and she goes, "I need you to take off your sunglasses." Like, what the hell, you know? And I got my bags from baggage claim, and I went through customs, and then they're like, "Do you have any gifts for other people?" And I was like, "Yes." And they were like, "What, for whom?" And then I started crying, and she's like, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "My brother died." And she was like, "Oh." She's like, "What gifts do you have?" I'm like, "A suit to bury my brother." And I'm like sobbing and crying, and then my friends picked me up from the airport, and again I just handed them the bags. And I got home, and there were all these people at my house, and there were always all these people at my house, and I didn't sleep for weeks, because like people would be at my house from 5 a.m. to like 2 a.m. the next morning, and every time I fell asleep someone would speak up, and people would come to the house, and they'd like be rude to me, and they'd be like, "Why does she need to have separate food from everybody? Why does she make her mother cook for her?" And there were just like constant people all around all the time. And I don't like people in my kitchen, I don't like people in my space, I don't like to be around a lot of people. And even after the funeral, like so many lies were said about me and my mom, and it was just all too much, and it was just all too much. And then when I came back, I went back to the US to spend some time with my friends to get away from it, but it didn't really work. And when I came back in the end of August, I was just so exhausted, and I just wanted to rest. and I was exhausted from August, and my health just completely continued to decline. People stopped talking to me after my brother died. It was the weirdest thing. Like, it was really bad, and I got really sick in December, and I kept going, and that was also the worst birthday of my life, but that's another story for another time. And then I got really sick in December, and I went to the doctor, and they thought it was this and that, and then January I kept getting worse until I spent 3 days in the hospital and spent like $10,000 that I didn't really have to spend. I put it on my credit card, and then in March I was finally diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I've been dealing with that ever since. So this year on July 17th, I'd like to do a really long all-day live stream, just in remembrance of my brother, and I'd like people to join in and tell me their stories, or maybe sing one of his karaoke songs. Tell me his favorite karaoke songs, tell me about him. I'll be sharing more stories about him and that kind of stuff. So I really hope you guys will join me for that, and that day will finish up in our regular prayer. But today I wanted to sing the song that my brother forced me to sing in church. He came up to me with one of those books that we had, and he said to me in his way, he said, Monette, you will sing that song with me tonight. And I said, but I don't sing. He said, it's okay, I need you to sing with me. I was like, okay, fine. Like, I would do anything for my brother, because I was only 2 years older than him, and I don't have any memories that he's not in. And so he said, you will sing the first verse, we will sing the chorus together, I will sing the second verse, and we will sing the third verse together. So unfortunately now I have to sing it all by myself. So here goes. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry. From the waters lifted me, now safe am I. Love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me. Okay, y'all, so that's my part, and on Friday I'll sing the rest for y'all. So see y'all then. Thank you so much for listening to my story, for watching the video to the end, and I hope you'll join me on July 17th to remember my brother and share stories about his love and our love for him. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye. If you enjoyed my video, go ahead and give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Share this video with your friends so that they can enjoy my content too. And I'll catch you in the next video.